Okay, good morning, traders. Andy Demi here at the London Trading Institute. So, guys, hope you had a good weekend. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down Bitcoin again. We've obviously had a bit of a drop over the weekend, which I've been expecting. There were some interesting clues left in the market during the weekend. So I had a short position. I actually closed it out at 38,300. And I've placed a buy order slightly lower, which I've just been filled on, and I'll share that with you as well. And most importantly, I want to share with you what's going on now on the bigger picture. You know, where are we likely to kind of move to next? Because obviously we know Bitcoin is going to be a mover of all of the markets, but we'll also have a little look at the altcoin markets, and we'll go through the altcoin index. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be covering right now. Before I do, guys, just want to say, finally, Manchester City dropped some points. Thank God for that. If you don't like football, then, you know, just ignore the next 10, 20 seconds. But my team, Liverpool, are back in the league title. So I'm very, very happy today. Finally, thank you, Tottenham, for doing us a big favor. I just needed to say that. The other thing I want to say, guys, is please hit the subscribe button and hit the like button if you are enjoying all of our content. Now, let's get to business. I'm going to bring in my charts. We're going to explore all sorts of things here. So let's start with looking at the Bitcoin chart. So I want to give you the bad first, okay? I don't want to kind of scare you or anything like that. I just want to prepare you, and I want to give you the bad first. So I want to show you the weekly chart because we've just had a weekly bar close. So have a look at the weekly chart. Now, when you look at the weekly chart, it doesn't look very pretty, does it? We've basically got an evening star rejection, so a 3-bar evening star rejection on a 50 weekly moving average. Okay, that is pretty bearish. Now, on its own, that candle formation is bearish, and we would maybe be thinking, oh, is the market going to go lower because of that? Well, I want to give you some slightly better news as well. Yes, it could. However, candle formations are only kind of relevant in a trending market. So what we don't know right now is, are we trending or are we ranging? You know, are we waiting for March with the Fed, you know, the hikes happening? Is that, you know, I've been speaking about March, the importance of March, and how a lot of turning points in the markets happen in March. If you kind of look over here, for example, I can show you. I mean, I'm not going to get into this right now. You can go back and look yourself. That March seems to be quite an important turning point. So if you have a look here towards the end of March, you know, we kind of topped. So we were kind of going up, and then March came in, and then we topped. And if you look back, as I've done in a previous video, you'll see that does happen quite a bit. Okay, you do get these kind of turning points, and March is fast approaching right now. So March, April time could be pivotal. So if Bitcoin continues to either push lower or range a bit here, well, March might be the turning point, and we might just get a new trend upwards. Now, what I was going to say about the candle formations here is that you can see that we're kind of getting mixed signals here. Like you had this kind of morning star there, and now you get this evening star. That's kind of a little bit of a market telling us it doesn't really know what it wants to do, right? There's a little bit of indecision there for sure. And, you know, I think that's something that we can bear in mind, because if you kind of look over here, guys, you can see we did something very, very similar, right? We had like, look, a really bullish candle formation there, and then a bearish candle formation there. And then, you know, a bullish one, and then a neutral one, and then a bullish one. So this period here was definitely a ranging market. And it was kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks, 10 weeks before we broke out. So it was about a 10-week range there. And if you kind of look at the same kind of picture and you say, well, look, we don't count that as part of the range. We started there. Well, we are 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th week of this potential range. So basically, if this is going to repeat, then you could be looking at, that would be the 6th week, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. Look at that. that would literally bring us into the end of March. If this matches what it did here, and clearly this is going to be an important area. Okay, this is going to be an important area here for Bitcoin. So just bear in mind, the market could have another dip, okay, and we could find some support here. Now, I'm not saying that that's the low, but we may get a rally off the back of it, okay? So a significant rally, you know, to take us back up towards the 50, 52K zone, okay? So just bear that in mind. Now, if we go over to the daily chart and have a look, well, on the daily chart, it's quite interesting here because on the one hand, you know, our Fibonacci is actually telling us that we could go down to around 30,639 here, okay? However, if you just kind of take the simple kind of A, B, C, D, you know, for the current, these are called sub-fibs, A, B, C, D, we've just hit an overextension on the daily chart, which basically means that the likelihood is that we're going to have some kind of bounce. Okay, and it could just literally be a bounce back to here, back to old support, and then we could then have a new A, B, C, D. So we have a new A, a new B, a new C, that's a B, and then that would be your D completing there, and then that could attract that push up towards this kind of zone up here, okay, which again is going to be a key level if that happens. So right now, you know, I'm just looking at the short-term stuff, and you know, if we kind of go over to the 4-hour time frame, you can, let's just remove these drawings. So you can kind of see this is where we are on the 4-hour time frame, and if we actually plug in our fibs going down, this is just kind of going to give me, hopefully, the next target down is a little bit lower. Let me make sure that this is, let's change the rule to 2%. That's better. So this is the fib target, and it's very similar to the daily. So this, for me, this is a really key area. You know, if we manage to get down here, this is going to be a really nice buy zone, guys. And don't be surprised if we kind of see a spike below that and then the market rally. But like I said, we are in a kind of important zone here, okay? There's a lot of price action here in the past. We're on fib overextension. So I think there's a good chance that the market could rally up here, which is why I'm trying a long position from here, short term. Now, the other thing that's quite interesting is, you know, I brought this up a little while ago, and we are back in the extreme fear, okay, in the extreme fear for Bitcoin. Now, what normally happens, guys, is when you get into the extreme fear, that's when the market tends to get a bounce, and that's where we are right now. Now, obviously, it can go worse. Last month, it was as low as 13. It's at 25 now, but it is in that zone. And, you know, and it's going to be quite interesting to see. Let's have a look at the that's the 3-month. You know, so it's not really been here for a while. Since the 3rd of Feb was the last time we were kind of in this area. Okay, so it's been a little while. It's been a couple of weeks. You know, that was the 4th of Feb. Let's have a look. Where was the 4th of Feb? What was going on around the 4th of Feb? So look what happened then, guys. So last time we were in that fear index zone, you can see, if I just put it around the 3rd or 4th of Feb, around there, the market, you know, had a nice little push there. So, you know, just bear that in mind. It could happen again. We're back in that zone again. So we could get a little bit of a rally, but it doesn't necessarily get us out of the woods, guys. So just bear that in mind. What I am doing right now is I am trading short and long, taking the high probability trades. As I said, I was short from just above 40,000, so 40,400 or something. But I've taken more, to one a little bit higher as well. But I'm taking the safe. I'm not going for the whole move. I'm just taking the easy move. I was out at 38,300, but I did have an order. So here, and it did actually bounce, has gone lower. I had an order at 37,350. I am long now. My stop is below 35. I'm going to monitor this one. Okay. I'm going to monitor it. And what I'm planning to do is if we can get a bounce, so even if it goes a bit lower, if we can get a bounce, I'll move that stop up and just tighten it behind that low. As long as we take out that high, that's basically how I'm looking to manage that. Okay, so there is some bearish signals, guys. I'm not going to lie. And, you know, there is a chance we could go even lower. Okay, we do have this 200 moving average here that could come into play, which is a little bit lower. And, you know, the other thing you can do as well, guys, is just to make sure you've got your trend line in there. And you can see that becomes a real key zone there. So it could, especially there's a lot of potential volatility with wars and so on. And, you know, with what the Fed's going to do with high inflation, there's a lot of potential chaos in the market that could create that kind of parabolic move. We've seen it here and here. So just have that in mind, guys. Don't be over leveraged. Make sure you're putting those stops in play, and then, you know, be prepared, because none of us want to see that. None of us want to see that happen. Even though we can, you know, we can say we're going to get Bitcoin for cheaper, would rather it just went up, for crying out loud. Just go up, right? But let's be prepared. Okay, let's be prepared, because if it happens, it's not like we're going to be able to control it. So why not be prepared and try and make the most amount of money that we can? All right, guys. That's all from me today. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Do join us over at the Crypto and FX Traders Club if you're not part of that community. I'll put a link in the comments, and do like this video and subscribe if you enjoyed that breakdown. And we'll be sure to bring you lots more. And if you have anything interesting that you want me to cover, I am open to kind of listening. So put it into the group or put it under the YouTube video. All right, guys, have a good one. Good trading, good investing, and good health. Take care. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.